What's going on, guys? Matt in the Hat, Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the Hot List. I come to you on Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time. We hang out and talk real estate. We talk properties new to the market with recent price reductions or something unique about the property that I want to share with y'all and want y'all to know. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by a listener of the podcast. And to find out how you get your question answered or some additional information, just hang out with me till the end. Finally, I recognize and thank a sponsor of the week each and every single week. If you are a small business owner, entrepreneur, or want some additional information about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week, all you got to do is just give me a few and I will get you that information. So, thank you guys so much for joining. It has been a few weeks since I've done this. Those that have known or been involved, as you can see from the wall behind me, if you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube, I have some construction going on. I've also recently been dealing with some health issues with my youngest son. He's been in and out of hospital, recently diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Not having known anything about that or what that involves with, it's been a learning curve for all of us. And we have been drinking from a fire hose over the last few weeks, just with an onslaught of information and what it takes to deal with this, handle this, and continue to move forward for us as well as him in keeping his spirits up and still as active as he's able to be. So fortunately, we know what's going on. We know how to treat it going forward. Is there a cure for it? No, but we know what we can do to basically treat it going forward so he is still able to do all the things that he enjoys doing and live his life as normal as possible, kind of like the rest of us have been over the last year. So, the property that we are talking about today, the address is 2819 Westlake Drive right here in Emporia. This is a 4-bed, 2.5-bath house, has an attached 2-car garage. It has 2,414 square feet of finished space, currently listed for $339,900, courtesy of Coldwell Banker Emporia Real Estate. This is a ranch style house. It was a custom build few years back, has nice big rooms, not just the bedrooms, but all the rooms are nice large rooms, tons of natural light with all the windows that they have in there. It's got a nice brick fireplace, full unfinished basement. A lot of the basement is studded off, so it would all just take you some sheetrock to finish it. Fenced in backyard as well as a deck out back as well. So if you got any questions about the property, all you got to do is click on the link in the description. That's going to take you right to my website so you can see the property for yourself. And if you have any questions, just shoot me a message or give me a call directly through the website, and I'll be happy to answer those questions for you. If you are a pre-approved buyer, not currently working with an agent, and want to set up a scheduling and a showing, all you got to do is reach out to me through the website or jump back here to Facebook. I would be happy to set up a showing time to get you going for those that are pre-approved. All right, so before I get into the question of the day, I do want to recognize and thank our sponsor of the week this week, and that is Family Martial Arts Center right here in Emporia. They are located at 1009 West 12th Avenue here in Emporia. You can call Master Troy Hobelmann directly to find out more about the different classes that he offers. His phone number is 620-343-7575. I know he has 3 classes that I know of because Chase attends Family Martial Arts. He has a preschool program, a youth program, and a teen/adult program. So give him a call depending on the age of your teen. You have to call him. I don't remember offhand what the ages are. I can get those from him and give you guys an update. But I've included a link in the description that's going to take you right to his Facebook page so you can get some additional information for yourself. Just a refresher on what the address is, phone number, as well as an email address. And you can see some of the pictures and videos that he's posted about current and previous students and what they offer as well. Troy has just been celebrating 20 years. As of 2020, he's been celebrating 20 years of owning Family Martial Arts Center. So he's been doing this for quite a while. I know it's made a huge impression and a huge difference on Chase, especially when it comes to responsibility and discipline. So if you've thought about getting your kid into this, this is a good place to start. You can swing by, or like I said, call him directly and he can get you that information. If you're curious about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and not sure where to start, all you got to do is shoot me a message or drop a comment wherever you're listening to this, whether it is iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, wherever the case may be. Just drop a comment and I'd be happy to have a conversation with you about what it takes to become a sponsor of the week and be recognized by the hot list on Monday through Friday. All right, and now we get to my favorite portion of the show, and that is the question of the day. The question of the day is submitted by a listener of the podcast. So each and every day I do a video, I am answering a question that is submitted by a listener. So if you have a real estate question, you're not sure where to start, I would be happy to be the real estate resource that you begin with, and I'd be happy to answer that question for you, as well as use it for content for episodes like this one, because if you have a question, there is a high chance that somebody else is going to have that exact same question and have no idea where to start. So help yourself out, help them out, shoot me a message or drop me a comment wherever you're listening to this on your favorite podcast station. So the question of the day, is the painter's mask the best mask to wear to avoid fumes? Well, I think I can honestly say that I have learned more about masks over the last year than I've ever wanted to or probably ever needed to. The one thing that I have learned about my home, and as you guys, again, watching the video, you can see what I'm talking about here, is it's mine. Well, ours. I'm married, and by ours I mean obviously hers. We can do whatever we want to our homes to reflect our personalities and make it our own. Now, I'm not saying I'm capable of laying tile or building a deck. That is not a skill set that I have. One of the best ways to give your home a facelift, the simplest way, as well as make it your own, just give it an updated paint job. Like any other DIY job, there are going to be some safety factors that will come into this, as well as some equipment that you're going to need. Because many paints do contain some type of variety of particles. Some are going to be airborne and can be inhaled. Obviously, those are not ideal for your lungs. So what type of mask do you wear, or should you wear? Do you even wear a mask? Well, like I said, I don't have to tell you how much we've learned about masks over the last year since COVID has hit. But today what we're going to do is dive a little bit deeper into the world of some of the masks that are familiar to us. So today we're going to talk about 3 need to knows when it comes to painter's masks. So as you guys have questions, make sure that you drop those in the comments and share this out if somebody you know is thinking about doing painting or doing some updates. So number 1 is going to be surgical mask versus painter's mask. We're all familiar with the paper face mask by now. Paper masks all look the same. There are going to be some differences between the masks, especially when it comes to a surgical mask and a painter's mask. So a surgical mask is what most of us have been wearing or have seen people wearing. These are generally sold for medical purposes. These are going to offer little to no protection from inhaling airborne particles themselves. These are good for preventing you from exhaling germs onto somebody else, not from inhaling somebody else's germs. And that's why you don't see surgical masks in the same department as painting or sanding materials or masks. Now, a painter's mask can still be made from paper like the surgical, but these are specifically designed to prevent particles from penetrating the surface of that mask and getting into your lungs. These are actually commonly referred to as dust masks. So, hang on. Oh, sorry. So these are commonly referred to as dust masks. And the job of these masks are to filter out particles because these masks are filtering devices themselves. They're going to have a various degree of filtration depending on the mask, what you're going to use it for. So picture it like the air filter for your HVAC system has to be changed so often, but filters out some of those airborne particles so you're not breathing those in. Number two, we're going to be talking about today are mask ratings. Thanks to the National Institute of Occupational Safety and Health, there are very specific ratings to help prevent painters or other professionals in determining which type of mask they should use. It's not uncommon for a professional painter to actually have a variety of masks on hand because they work with a variety of different materials from paints, stains, cleaners, whatever the case may be. Most homeowners that have masks fall into two categories, or there's two categories to consider as a homeowner. Number one is the oil resistance, and number two is filtration. So oil resistance masks are going to be rated with a letter N, as in November, or the N95 mask that everybody said that you had to go out and buy, and those would prevent you from getting COVID. So the N95 means the mask is not oil proof. So it's not necessarily an issue with when you're dealing with water-based paint because it's water, not oil. So if you're working with anything that's oil-based, you're going to want a mask that is oil proof or made to be used with oil-based paints. So the letter rating is there for your safety. So keep that in mind. So again, the N means no oil proofing. The letter R provides up to 8 hours of oil resistance. And the letter P means that it can remain, the mask can remain oil proof for 8+ hours at a time before it has to be replaced. Then when it comes to filtration, the number is part of the mass rating. This is a percentage of 1 micrometer particle being removed from the air coming into your face. I know it's kind of confusing, kind of wordy, but I took that right off their website so I would not get that wrong. So a 95 rating equals 95% of particles being filtered. 97 rating would be 97% of particles being rated, and 100 is similar to the HEPA filters in the home, and these remove 99.9% of airborne particles. For most DIY projects that many of us do around the house, a 95% mask will get the job done. If you are working in a home that may have lead, asbestos, or other fine or potentially dangerous particles, I would recommend getting a more powerful mask to help filter those out and just reduce the chance that you're inhaling something that you don't want to be. And finally, number 3 on the list is going to be cartridge respirators. These style masks are tight fitting. They're made to have a tight seal around your nose and your mouth. If you have a beard like I do, not necessarily ideal, and it won't seal completely, so keep that in mind. But these have removable filtration cartridges on there, whether it's one side or both sides, and these offer more protection than a basic dust mask. The rating system on these is essentially the same as a dust mask would be. The cartridge respirators can also filter out not just dust, but other fine particles as well. And they can also help filter out harmful vapors and particles that are smaller than 1 micrometer, where the dust mask typically just, it has to be 1 micrometer or larger. These cartridge ones can filter out even smaller particles. When choosing the cartridge respirator, make sure you grab one that has, or potential to have, stackable filters. What this means is this is going to allow these cartridge filters to filter out a range of environmental hazards all at once. So it could just be dust in the air. It could be the oil vapors from a paint or a stain, whatever the case may be. It just stacks on top of one another and allows you to filter those out. If you're not sure what type of respirator is going to be right for you or right for the project that you're working on, I would recommend picking up a range of different ones. I have a number of different filters, whether it's just a simple dust mask when I'm out in the yard. I have a mask I wear for sheetrock work. When I was recently tearing out soffits in my kitchen, I had a dust mask that had a little bit higher filter in them because I was not only dealing with dust, but I was also dealing with insulation that was coming out of the ceiling as well. So I would recommend picking up a range of them just because they're handy to have, and they're also there for your protection. You don't want to inhale any of that and get that into your lungs. It's going to ruin your day and potentially cause some health issues and hazards down the road. So that's going to wrap it up for today in the hot list. I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you guys so much. Again, I'm your host, Matt Johnson with Keller Williams Realty. I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have a phenomenal Monday. Keep those questions coming, and I'll see you tomorrow. Take care.